Aloha mai kako. My name is U'ilani Kiaha, and I'd like to welcome you to our virtual Out of Darkness AFSP Hawaii chapter walk. Today I have the pleasure of doing the opening ceremony, which will be starting with the oli e mai. You will be able to see a YouTube video, and thank you to the person who created this, with the sound and the words for this oli. Whether you know it or not, please join us. And as we start this virtual program, think about those who we have lost to suicide, but also those that we can help who are struggling with suicide ideation, and also just be a part of the prevention of suicide. So come, please join us. Mahalo.
During today's program, there might be some moments that are very difficult to hear. And so we'd also like to share with you that this is a really important time to take care of yourself. And so if you need to step away, or if you find later today that you're having a difficult time, please take time to reflect and just take the time that you need to take care. We know the content is real and authentic and can be difficult. So please, again, as you watch today's program, take good care. Thank you. Aloha. I'm Kathleen Merriam, co-chair of AFSP Hawaii. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Hawaii chapter is so pleased to be able to come together today for our virtual walk. Of course, it'd be nice if we were all together like we have been in the past and be hugging and going on a real walk and being together, but we're not. So this is the next best thing. I'm so happy that we can be together today for the next little while, and I hope you enjoy the program and what we have planned for you. I wanted to start out by acknowledging a few people that have helped make this happen. First of all, our committee, our chapter, has worked so hard on bringing today for you together. You'll meet my co-chair, Ms. Tissa Gass, who has been working very hard on cutting and slicing and pasting various pieces together, and we really are so grateful for all of your contributions. We wanted to make sure that this is a statewide event because all the islands working together is critical to the success of AFSP Hawaii. A couple of highlights from our walk so far is that we've done really great with fundraising. Of course, it's nice when we can do some fundraising for our walk because that's going to allow us to have more opportunities and provide more services for suicide awareness and prevention. But the main goal, of course, is just to provide some support. But I want to tell you about that fundraising. So we have Pua Kaninau Santos right now as our #1 fundraiser. No surprise, she has been really the mover and shaker of this suicide prevention movement, and she is coming in as our top fundraiser. And next we have Karen Ng coming in as the second top fundraiser. Scott Lee is after that. I follow that. And then we have Reyes Cisan. So we have top 5 fundraisers. You can find that on our afsp.org as well under Hawaii. So we just want to thank and give a shout out to our top 5 fundraisers. We have some exciting teams. This year, right now, we have 25 teams, and I bet you will have more before the actual walk, but we're taping a little bit earlier. So currently 25 teams. We have Karen's Gnomies. She's at #1. Pua Kaninau's team is at #2, and Cisan Clan #3. I've talked to these ladies recently, and they are honoring some loved ones they have lost by suicide by having a team in their names. And again, our aloha goes out to you and your ohanas, and what a wonderful way to bring awareness and memorialize all the wonderful things about their lives. And thank you for paying life forward. So right now we are actually at $11,121 with our fundraiser. Again, thank you. So getting back to what AFSP Hawaii is beyond fundraising, it's about this, being together. And thank you so much for being with us today. When I lost my brother, Michael Thomas Rhodes, years ago, although it feels like it was yesterday on many days, I wanted to meet other people that had gone through a similar experience. I just couldn't imagine going through this alone. And so it was so wonderful that I could meet people that were a part of this thing called AFSP, because meeting people that have gone through this similar experience is so valuable. It's hard to bring it up. It's hard to explain it. It's hard to talk to other people if they haven't gone through it. And of course now, especially now in 2021, after what we're going through, what we're living through with this pandemic, we know that a lot of people are suffering from depression, thinking about suicide, anxiety. And so we are more important, more now than ever before. So thank you for coming together, making AFSP Hawaii stronger and more visible. We need you, and we have a role for you. So don't forget, we meet as a group the fourth Wednesday of every month. We have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram. We want to make sure that you feel connected because you are not alone. Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Dr. Mestisa Goss. I'm the co-chair here with Kathleen at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Hawaii chapter. And like Kathleen, I would just like to send a very special thank you or mahalo for joining us today and participating in the walk, whether you signed up, advocated, donated, or you actually went out and walked with some of your loved ones in a safe way. We just really appreciate people continuing to be mental health advocates as they move through life and start to share some of that suicide prevention awareness that is so needed in our community. And we talk about the importance of suicide prevention, but also what this walk really does is it creates a sense of community and connection with people who are survivors of suicide loss, who are people with lived experience and people who have loved ones and people that they work with that they're really passionate about making the community more safe for them. And like Kathleen mentioned, this has been a difficult time for all of us. And we do know that mental health challenges are on the rise. Protective factors 100% include community, family, and loved ones. And that is absolutely why we gather here today. And like myself, I am also a survivor of suicide loss, having had my sister and my best friend die by suicide. That has started me on a very long and circuitous path. And while I initially thought that grieving was a very private matter and something that I should be doing with my family behind closed doors, as I became more grief literate and more of a mental health advocate, I realized why it's so important to start these conversations, because many of us are just grieving in silence and grieving by ourselves. So American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and specifically, of course, the Hawaii Ohana came together and really embraced me and helped me learn how to share my story and share my own healing process, because we're all in different places. And I think that's what this community and this organization brings that's so magical, is support in every single step of the process of healing and grieving, because we are going to go through it someday. And so why not learn how to be more literate and how to support and love one another? We do have another wonderful event coming up that I do want to highlight. So for those of you who are survivors of suicide loss, please join us on the International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. That is on November 20th. It's going to be from 9 to 11. It will be virtual. If you go to our website, afsp.org/chapter/Hawaii, you're going to find a list of our events. It'll be there to register. We would love to see you there if you're ready to start to go through your own process and move with us forward in teaching others and how to support one another. But thank you so much for coming today, and a big thank you for those who are sharing their story today to put a highlight on what it means to go through suicide prevention and healing. And of course, that's our honor bead ceremony participants, and we'll be seeing their video in just a few minutes.
Aloha and welcome to Out of the Darkness Hawaii Virtual Walk 2021. I'd like to thank the Hawaii chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for putting this event together under challenging circumstances yet again. You've remained resilient for another year during these turbulent times and brought us all together. So thank you very much. My name is Jared Kilho-Kalole. I am the state senator for Kaneohe and Kailua on Oahu, and I'm the chair of the Senate Health Committee. And I'm here because, like many of you, I've personally lost friends and family to suicide. And it hurts. And it hurts to think about how they were hurting and how I didn't see it and how we all around them didn't see it. And so, it's been really encouraging recently. I've been thinking about how in professional sports, discussions of mental health have become more normal and more accepted. And I think have made this issue real and have taken it out of the shadows for such a broader audience and really supplemented a lot of the work that a lot of you folks do. It allows people like you to work so much more effectively when issues of suicide and how to prevent it, how to increase education and awareness become more mainstream, become more normal and less stigmatized, in the public consciousness. So these personal stories of loss and grief by extremely famous gymnasts like Simone Biles or tennis stars or basketball stars. And I've been thinking about that because I think it's really important when you have, when I personally have an individual story of loss and grief of someone I know, or when individuals out in our community are going through challenges themselves. It's one thing to feel like you're just an unlucky single individual case versus realizing that this is something that happens all the time, all over the place, and that there's more that can be done about it. The fact that someone dies of suicide in the United States every 17 minutes and in Hawaii every 2 days is a really significant thing to think about in the broad scheme of things. One life is too many. And so it's just an indication that, we've come a long way, but there's a lot more that can be done and that we have to do better. So I know that is something that many of you can identify with, which is why you're here. So I want to thank each of you for being involved here today, for your commitment and your involvement in the suicide prevention movement. Because of this work and your efforts, this movement continues and it grows. So I wish each of you and the Hawaii chapter the best, and let's have a great event. Aloha.
Aloha. We consider this part of the program the centerpiece of our event today. We are so grateful to our next presenters who have agreed to share. Mahalo for coming this morning to support the Hawaii chapter of American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We couldn't do what we do without the help and support of all of you. For many, the Out of Darkness Walk is a journey of remembrance, a time to acknowledge the ways in which suicide and depression have affected our lives and our loved ones. Various color of honor beads acknowledge your personal connection to the cause and help you identify others who may just know how you feel. Red represents the loss of a spouse or partner. We thank you for being here and we honor your loved one. Today, Wendy Hornack will share a few words about her loss.
Thank you, Kathleen. It was 10 years ago, and it still feels like yesterday. Jim was only 36 years old when it happened. Our kids were 4 and 8. At first, I was really mad. How could he do that? Why didn't he talk to me? We were supposed to be best friends. And then I was really sad because he was my partner in life through thick and thin. And now he's gone and I'm alone. I have to do it all by myself. So I started wondering, were there signs Could I have stopped this? Could I have made a difference? And why didn't I know? For a long time, I blamed myself. I just kept thinking I should have paid more attention. If I would have loved him more, if I had been a better wife or a mother, and I just didn't know it. If I could have protected him and saved his life. But now I realize that I need to find strength in you. I need to show the world and help them so they don't have to deal with this either. So for you, for the strength, I wear red beads. And I love you.
Thank you, Wendy. White represents the loss of a child. We thank you for being here and we honor your loved one. Here is Dennis Williams to speak about his experience.
Aloha to everyone, and mahalo for being here today to support this virtual Out of the Darkness walk. I'm here for my precious son, Cornelius, who took his life 11 years ago, which seemed like only yesterday. And I believe all good parents believe it is his or her duty to provide, guide, and protect their children. When you lose a child, there is no words to express the agony and pain you feel. I work for the Suicide and Crisis Line. This year make 19 years. And I'm here today to tell you I'm very enthusiastic and confident with events like today. We as a community will win this battle against suicide. But just know that you are not alone. When you believe that you're alone, you may feel weak. But I want you to know together we are strong. Today is a day of unity. Today we choose to be unbreakable, unshakable, and with perseverance, hope, and great love, we can make a difference and save lives. Thank you.
Mahalo, Dennis. Orange represents the loss of a sibling. We thank you for being here and we honor your loved one. Here is Karen In to speak about her experience.
Aloha, everyone. I'm wearing these orange beads because I lost my sister, Kareen, 3.5 years ago. Kareen was the youngest of the 3 Ing sisters, Karen, me, Clara, and then Kareen. She was the chatterbox, cheerleader, and creative genius of the family. She loved costumes, themed parties, movies, music, traveling, the outdoors, animals, and her beloved dog, Chewy. She was a force of energy, so talented and silly, an incredible friend, and a dear baby sister. Every year, I celebrate her life by rallying friends, family, and supporters to remember her and participate in AFSP's Out of the Darkness walk. I want to talk about her and her fun-loving personality. I want to have conversations that destigmatize suicide and emphasize the importance of mental health. Today, I bring together Team Kareen's Nomies to honor her creative spirit and embrace the fun.
Mahalo, Karen. Silver represents the loss of a first responder or military. We thank you for being here and we honor your friend or loved one. Presenting for the silver bead is Colonel Ronald Cole.
Hello, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Ronald Cole, and my words today are representative of my beliefs and not the Army as a whole. I would like to represent first responders and the military. As we know, we have great stress on the front lines. There's certain challenges that come with the actual work that the average person doesn't endure. Secondary trauma is real. And I would like to highlight a couple situations, especially in the last year with COVID, increasing the stress on the front line for our healthcare workers. One of our main doctors that was there during the actual ground zero of COVID in New York was doing extra hours. And then she ended up being asked to go home. She didn't want to leave because she was caring for the actual patients that were sick. She went to North Carolina to visit her family, and her family noticed something wasn't right, but they didn't pay attention to the signs. Sadly, we lost our physician, frontline provider, as a physician who was taking care of our COVID patients. In the military, there's another system as well. We move very frequently, as well as are doing jobs that are pretty high stress in general every day. But because of that, you create new families wherever you go every 2 to 3 years. The military has gotten pretty smart and created a system where we look at high risk things that would cause someone to just necessarily be stressed out that could lead to attempts or suicides. It is these family connections that has allowed us to be more proactive and look for things to change. I share these because I empower those that are around those who may not be acting in the norm. Do not hesitate to ask a tough question, be there for them, and make sure that you're letting them know that you're paying attention. They would appreciate it in the long run. And I hope that I empowered you with this story to do the same in your communities. Thank you.
Mahalo, Ronald. Purple represents the loss of a friend or relative. We thank you for being here and we honor your friend or loved one. Here is Belinda Danielson to speak about her experience.
Aloha and talofa. My name is Belinda Valvasa Danielson. I work in the behavioral health field, and have been with suicide and crisis for over 15 years. I wear the purple beads that represent the loss of a relative to remember my uncle. Although he was my uncle, he was only 3 years my senior. So basically we grew up together. He was my protector, my big brother, and someone who I always counted on to keep me safe. In his memory, I continue to do the work and to be available to help those who struggle with suicide. Please remember, there is help, there is hope, and there is healing. Mahalo and fa'afetai.
Thank you, Belinda. Green represents those that personally struggle or have struggled. Thank you for acknowledging yourself and know that we are here to support, advocate, and continue research to improve our understanding of mental health. Thank you for being here and we honor you. Presenting for the green bead is Donna Rose.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you for letting me share with you today. Today I am representing the green beads due to my own personal struggles with depression, anxiety, and other traumatic events that have happened in my life. These issues were combined with having no or little resources, therapy, or friends and family who understood what I was going through at that time. This all came to a head when I was 25 years old, when I attempted to take my life. It felt like I had nothing else to turn to and that the only way was out. In that moment, I wish I had had a friend, a resource, or anyone to turn to when I was feeling at my absolute low. This feeling can happen at any point in anyone's life. And if there is something I want everyone to know, is that there are people out there who are there for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out, whether you need the help or you think that someone needs that help. Thank you.
Mahalo, Donna. Teal represents your support of a friend or family member who struggles or has attempted. We thank you for supporting your friend, family, and loved one, and we honor you. Dennis Hita is here to represent the teal bead today.
Hi everyone, my name is Dennis Hita, and I'm wearing the teal beads to represent those who support someone who struggles or who has attempted suicide. About 7 years ago, someone very close to me attempted to take their life. Since then, I have learned a lot about mental health, suicide prevention, and some of the specific challenges. I've learned the value of professional help, medication, self-care, trusted individuals, and me just being there to listen and support. My desire to learn more to help my special person and others who have similar struggles has led me to the AFSP. I've been helping at AFSP events for about 3 years now and have the privilege to serve on their board. My prayer for everyone is to keep going, don't give up, get help if you need it, and you're not alone.
Mahalo, Dennis. Blue represents your commitment to AFSP and suicide prevention. These beads show that you are here today helping raise awareness and funds for research, education, and advocacy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, and we honor you. Our last presenter is Liz Warren, who will share why they support suicide prevention and why she supports the walk.
My name is Mahealani Sims-Toba, founder of Brave. Brave is a registered 501c3 nonprofit that is committed to empowering young men and women through our anti-bullying, suicide prevention, and drug and alcohol abuse awareness programs, as well as through pageantry, community service, and the performing arts. Some of the organizations that Brave has been recognized by are the Weinberg Foundation, the George Bush Points of Light, the Princess Diana Foundation, and the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards. Brave cannot be successful without the support from our community. Please log on to bravehawaii.org for more information on how you can support or volunteer in our programs. Mahalo, and we look forward to seeing you in our communities.
Nikolani Trust has opened the new Malama line to provide caregivers of Native Hawaiian children with a simple, convenient way to learn more about our statewide services. By calling the phone line, one of LT's skilled social service teammates will learn more about your child or children and your ohana's needs. From there, we will determine eligibility, explore opportunities we can offer, and connect you to the appropriate referrals. Please call us. Our Malama line number is 808-466-8080. Mahalo.
Aloha everyone. My name is Brent Holto with the 9th MSC Army Reserves. I'm the Suicide Prevention Program Manager, and I would like to share with you some of the things that we are doing for our Army Reserve soldiers, families, and our DA civilians. This month we have September Suicide Awareness Month, and we work in conjunction with our Prevent Suicide Hawaii Task Force, and we offer a lot of trainings, awareness, and as well as we also make sure that we support our service members and families when it comes to suicide prevention efforts. In conjunction, we're working with our statewide providers and our community nonprofits. We work very collaboratively on all these efforts year-round, and we also support community functions as far as our American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and Awareness and their Out of Darkness Walk, and also meet on a monthly basis to discuss our efforts and initiatives for suicide prevention. So we welcome all of you in joining us, our military members, our families, into helping our military members get the assistance that they need to support them and support them when they need assistance in prevention efforts, and also with our veterans that need the assistance while they're out of service. But we welcome you all, we thank you all, and we hope all of you support September in Suicide Awareness Month. Thank you very much.
I'm Deb Gabert with the University of Hawaii and co-chair of the Prevent Suicide Hawaii Task Force. I'm grateful for your participation in the Out of Darkness experience. Since its start more than 15 years ago, the task force has brought people together from across the state to make a difference. We have an ambitious goal of reducing suicide 25% by 2025. We use the whole spectrum of prevention to do this, from strength building and resilience to helping those thinking about suicide and those in crisis, as well as supporting those after a death. The state task force meets monthly to share information and learn from each other. We also have county task forces that are working together. We all focus on hope, help, and healing, grounded in aloha, ola, culture, and connection. Over the years, our task force membership has grown. We were convened by the Hawaii Department of Health's Emergency Medical Services and Injury Prevention Branch, and the state has one of the first to fund an injury prevention coordinator. The branch serves as our hub, hosting our website and convening our meetings. As we speak, it is redesigning its website for easier navigation. It's here you'll find local data, information about suicide prevention, local and national resources, information on events that are coming up, as well as trainings. It's a great way to find out how to get involved. We hope you share this information, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Brian Talisian, Executive Director at Mental Health America of Hawaii. We're so excited to be here with you folks today for this very important event. A recent report by Mental Health America, which analyzed more than 700,000 online depression screenings from across the country, found that of the Hawaii residents who participated, 41% had indications of suicidal ideation more than half or every day. This same report showed that based on the residents who took the screening, Hawaii had the highest percentage of individuals reporting suicidal ideation. Considering the ongoing pandemic, protests for racial justice, and political unrest over the last year and a half, the need to promote mental resilience and wellness through education, advocacy, and support has never been more critical. In response to growing need, Mental Health America of Hawaii has developed more than a dozen evidence-informed trainings. These trainings, most about an hour long, are designed to improve resilience and promote protective factors for participants. Our trainings, which for now are all done virtually, are free to the community. In addition to our trainings, Mental Health America of Hawaii provides statewide helplines which connect callers to services they may need, legislative and government advocacy, and a comprehensive finding out resource directory. For more information on our programs and services, please visit mentalhealthhawaii.org. Thank you for having us today. Together, we can make a difference in someone's life. Aloha.
Aloha. I'm Kumi MacDonald, Executive Director of NAMI Hawaii. NAMI stands for National Alliance on Mental Illness, and we have over 600 affiliates across the nation. We provide support, education, advocacy, and awareness. And most importantly, we provide all of our programs free of charge right now on Zoom. So if you're anywhere, even on a rural location, as long as you have internet, you can join a class or a support group. You can also call us, check out our website for free resources and information. We are here for you. We know that mental health has affected all of us and we all need help. So we are just a phone call or an email away. Please reach out to us. Again, namihawaii.org. You are not alone. Aloha.
Hi guys, my name is Donna and I'm a board member here at AFSP. Today I just wanted to share with you some LGBTQ+ specific resources for those of us who may be experiencing crisis or may experience crisis in the future. The first one that I want to share with you is the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is available for youth of ages 13 to 24. They have a helpline, a text line, and a chat line. The text and chat are available on their website at thetrevorproject.org, but there's also their helpline, which is 1-866-488-7386. There is also the GLBT National Hotline, and that hotline is 1-888-843-4564. There's also their youth helpline up to ages 25, which is 1-800-246-7743. Finally, there's also the Trans Lifeline, and the Trans Lifeline is 1-877-565-8860. Thank you, and I hope this is helpful. Take care.
thank you for participating with us today. We wish you all the very best. Please stay safe and healthy, and we know that we'll see you again. Until then, aloha.
Absolutely. Mahalo for joining us and our AFSP Hawaii family and for all the hard work that you've done in supporting our community. We wish you all the best and hope to continue seeing you at future events, including our International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day.
Aloha again. And now we're at the end of our virtual program. We're so grateful for all that we're able to make it. Please continue the fight for suicide prevention by supporting AFSP Hawaii and any other programs that does suicide prevention. At this time, we'll be doing an oli called Oli Mahalo. It starts off with uhola ia, that's the first words. And this is an opportunity for us to thank those who were a part of planning and preparing and attending this wonderful program. Please also continue to help us as we all fight suicide together. So the same as the opening, there will be a video with the words and the sounds. Please join us as we thank each and every one of you and those around us and those who have passed with this oli. Mahalo.